Jim and I live in a great neighborhood. We really like our neighborhood. We have great people. But there was a house right next to us that was vacant for about 3.5 years. And I really prayed for whoever God would send along. I was praying for a nice, young, sweet family with children. And one day we heard the house sold. And in came a couple, unmarried. He kind of shaved his head, kind of tough guy. And she was a lawyer, all fancy and definitely not married, and with 2 pit bulls, 2 big pit bulls. When just a few years earlier, a pit bull killed our dog. And so I'm like, okay, God, you're gonna have to help me with learning to get on the good side of these pit bulls. Well, the whole neighborhood was quite upset about the dogs, and I was quite upset with God. Lord, this is not what I prayed for. This is not the kind of neighborhood we have. We have a nice neighborhood for families. Why did you bring these people? Why did you let them move in? And so after a couple of days, it's like, okay, God, you are sovereign. You've allowed this couple to move in. So I guess it's my job to love them and to get to know them. So I made it my priority to get to know them. None of my other neighbors were interested at all in them. So over a couple of years, we really got to know them well. We were invited over a lot with this young family, and we did things with them. We were sort of the only people that I'm aware of that really took an interest in them. So one day, I see the boyfriend in the yard, and I went over to say hi to him. And he was real upset. And we were standing kind of under the oak tree between our homes. And he was frustrated with his girlfriend and thinking things aren't working out well, she's mad at me, and he was just unloading. So I start telling him about the Lord. And he receives Christ under the tree, 15 feet or so from our sidewalk. And then he begins to bawl, just crying his eyes out. He genuinely gave his life to the Lord. So I asked him, well, would you like to come to church with us this weekend? So he and his girlfriend go to church with us. She rededicates her life, and they got married. It's great. And I often remind myself, just because of the way I feel about the people in the situation, doesn't mean God doesn't have a plan. So if you find yourself in a situation that's perhaps similar, where God is working in a way you don't like or appreciate, but God has a plan, and God has a journey. Everybody's on a journey, and we don't know what their journey is. And we can't assume that we know, and we can't make decisions based upon our assumptions. So be open. Who knows what God will do?